Hi, I'm Justine from Babes on the Run. This is Moira. We're going to do a workout for you today just using lower body and the ball. We've been doing a lot of high impact, high intensity workouts. This is going to be a slower workout, but we're going to be using a little bit more control. We're going to get straight into it as we normally do. We're just going to do a couple of jog on the spot and some butt kicks and bits and pieces, get started, and then we're going to run you through the ball. I'm going to stay in shot this time because there's a lot of things when working with a ball that you need to keep in mind. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of correction with Moira so you know what to look for when you're doing your own workouts at home. Flick it up now just to some butt kicks, nice and easy. We're going to be working some of the backs of your legs and your backside. So this is an awesome workout to make sure that you're getting your butt nice and toned and squeezing it all on. How about some high knees? I'd love to join in, but I'm not doing anything, so it's my job to supervise. Nice and easy, breathe it in. Well done. And relax it down. We're kind of just going through quickly because we've got quite a bit to get through today. And again, what I want you to do is work at your own pace. All you're going to need for this workout is a ball and a mat. I have got a couple of exercises that we can throw some weights into if you're a little bit more advanced. It's not something I wish you would rush into and go out and do something because heavier is better. It's much better with these to make sure, if you can do your high knees, that you're doing it correctly so that you're getting more out of the workout using the muscles that we've actually got activated. Nice and easy, relax it down. Fantastic, just ease it off. We're going to start now with some wall squats with the ball. And we've done millions and millions of squats. When we do wall squats, we can actually activate a little bit more through glutes and hamstring. I'll show you how to do your setup. You're going to set up that ball just above your butt there in the small of your back, and your feet are actually forward of the ball, so they're not straight down. And what you're actually going to do is come down into a right angle. You push back against the wall, nice and easy. And what that's going to do is give you a little bit more activation through the backs of your legs and your butt, and you're going to come down to the right angle for me. If you find this really easy, we can easily bring up a variation. We're just doing 10, so it's just for the last 5, hands by the sides. There you go. So you can do the whole set with these, or not. Couple more to go. Was that 10?
Yeah, that's 10.
My clients will tell you I can't count as well. All right, nice and easy. We're going down now into a lying hamstring curl. We're going to do a couple of things with hamstrings and the backside for this set, because we're going to get right in. They often get neglected. Now, setup is feet are shoulder width apart. You don't want them too wide, and nor do you want them together. With this exercise, I commonly see knees coming together. I'll make sure that they don't come together. That is not stabilizing at all. So what we do is feet are shoulder width apart on the top of the ball, toes are pointing straight up. We're going to do a pelvic tilt to come up off the ground, squeezing the glutes coming up to the top. Moira's hands are out to the side, up, 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 up. And we're going to do 10 rolling in, nice and easy. So you can see here with Moira, when I commonly see done is people can roll in, keeping the hips up, but when they roll back, they drop their hips, so keeping the hips up. Moira's very lucky to be able to have me poke her in the backside. That means that she's keeping her bottom up. If you're at home, you can correct at the end of each. If you're rolling out and then when you're starting, you're lifting your hips, you know that you're dropping on the way out. Really make sure that you keep it squeezed, that backside. There's hamstrings here, you'll feel the work being done. That's 10 done. Fantastic. So you should start to feel that starting to build up. Relax. We're going to bring the ball in and we're going to put feet on the front of the ball. Now we're going to do a reverse bridge. We're going to use these same muscles but slightly differently. So Moira's just going to push up to a reverse bridge for me, keeping the ball from moving away. So coming down all the way nearly and back up again. You're not resting on the ground, but you're coming down to the ground. And what I'm getting you to do is lower. The other thing that I see people do is they come down, they drop down, and then they push up. I don't want you using momentum. Keep your glutes squeezed and lower down. What we're working on is control. If you can't control in a slow movement, how are you going to be able to control these muscles when you're going really quickly and doing jumps and jump squats and all of that sort of stuff? So slow down. To modify harder, you can use weights on hips. What number? See, you can't count. And relax. Beautiful work. We're going to put those two movements together now. So you're going to do a ball curl with a hip raise and then a ball curl. We're going to do 10 of those. By now you should start to feel cramping. If you can't do 10, do 5 sets of 2 or 2 sets of 5, but make sure you do the 10. Feet are in the middle of the ball again. Shoulder width apart, toes point up. Don't let knees come together. Pelvic tuck to come up, bring it in. Up, down and away. It's poetry, isn't it? 1, good. Down and away. 2. So really work on keeping toes pointing in the right direction as well. The other thing I commonly see is people stabilising like this. The reason that we get you to have palms facing up is exactly what you see. It's so bad for posture to have them down. I can just flick my palms the other way and we have an instant correction. So if you want more stability, hands are out to the side. If you want less, you can bring them in. You can put them on your hips. You can even raise them up in the air. That reduces the amount of stability you get. Last one. That went quickly for me. Nice and easy. So now we're going to change the position on the ball. Your hamstrings have had a bit of a work there, so coming up slowly, we're going to go over the top of the ball. Moira's going to disappear to the side of the shot. When you start to come over the top of a ball, you start in this position. I always see people start up here and throw themselves over the top, which is just a lawsuit waiting to happen. Down low and coming over the top. So you're in control. So never, ever, ever letting the ball be the one that dictates what happens. Moira's going to do a bit of a correction because we're in a tight shot. Fantastic. You wouldn't normally do that, making sure hips are still under. You're going to squeeze one glute down and lift one leg up. We're going to do 10. This is such a small movement. Keeping the ball, 2, 3, staying on the same side, 4, don't let everything drop, 5, keeping it up, 6, we're working backside again, 7, we're working core, 8, making sure you're activating through here, 9 to keep everything on, and then 10, relax it down, step off to the side, both legs to the same side, not legs opposite sides because that's a little ungainly. Want to do the same set again, or do you want to have a break in between? Okay, let's do it again. This can sometimes get a little bit wearing on hands going forward in that front position. If you find that's the case for you, you can modify your grip by doing this. Give yourself a thumbs up. It's a little bit more work to start with, but it takes the pressure out of your wrist, which is what you want. Again, Moira's doing that correction. At home, you would just walk out. Generally, the starting position is to make sure your ball's between your knee and your feet. That gives you enough stability. That's too easy for you. The easiest way to modify it is just to walk out so it's just the ball underneath your feet. We're just doing this today, just because we've just limited space. Nice and easy. You might find if you are more dominant on one side that you really pull down, and you might be finding at home that this ball is pulling to one side, in which case we need to just work on pushing down with one leg, lifting with the other. We're going to do a little tricky one now that I like to finish off with. I call this a honeymoon killer. I think Vanessa, another one of our trainers, calls this using your sex muscles. Not sure what she's talking about, too young. We're going to pop the ball here in between knees, feet are off the ground. Lower back is pushed into the floor, hands are out to the side. You're going to pulse and squeeze that ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure back's pushed into the ground. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold for 10, 9, 8, feeling the love, 7, 6. My counting is selective at the best of times, isn't it? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. That was a nice start, wasn't it? Shall we do that again? So what we're doing is we're just breaking it up. We're going to go through a few times. We're going to start again with wall squats. I think she should do the weights. And I think that out of love, people, out of love. We're going to do 10 wall squats. Nice and easy. All right. Feet slightly forward of the body, so when you're coming down, right into these glutes and hamstrings. So we've just used this area. It's nice and warmed up and it's nice and activated. Moira's keeping her shoulders back. She's not hunching forward. Chest is up, coming down nice and low. And what you can see with Moira, there's no dropping. I often see these exercises done where people drop, come up, drop. So we're not doing any of that today. We're working on this control. Are your backside, squeeze it at the top, squeeze it and use it to control your descent. So you're lower, squeeze it at the bottom, it's going to bring you back up again. Well done. That's 10. Shall I take those for you, Princess? They're very heavy. Come on down. We're going straight back into hamstring curls. Terrific. Awesome. So feet are shoulder width apart. That's terrific. You're going to do the pelvic tuck to come up, and hold it and maintain that position throughout. Bringing it in. Awesome. 1, 2. I'm doing well so far, aren't I? 3. So remembering to keep hips up. before, this is a fantastic workout for people who tend to do a lot of sports and things, even running, where you tend to be a lot more toe dominant, so you're tending to use your fronts of your legs a lot more. Netballers, a lot of people, I can't think of anything where people don't really, even just running from things day to day, changing direction, aerobics and things like that, it's really good to get the backs of your legs and your backside activated. All right, so we're going to bring the ball right in. Feet are on the front, first third of the ball. That's the way. Bringing it up, pushing it up, not letting the ball roll away. And again, we're going to keep the control. So you can see that we're doing this nice and slowly because Moira is actually controlling the movement. She's working the muscle on the way up and on the way down. And we're still going to be incorporating the breathing, so you breathe out at the hardest part of the movement, breathe in to recover on the way down. That's fantastic. Oh, watching is making me feel tired. Keeping it going. And you can see Moira's hamstrings here is starting to pop now. They're enjoying it a lot, aren't they? That's the way. Feet onto the top of the ball. Don't rush into it. Nice and easy. We're up, bringing it in. Push it up. There's one. So we're putting those two movements together. So we've got the curl, the bridge, and away. Good. And the thing is, when you're coming to the top, you don't want to go up too high and putting it through back as well. So you just want to come up to where you've got that nice activation there. Well done. Making sure your toes aren't pointing, pulling out to the side. The other thing that clients who just start this exercise notice is sometimes they can get a pull behind their knee there. That's fine, we're just working on the activation through here. Make sure you're squeezing your backside as well. The thing is, when you're working a muscle group, is to really switch it on and to train it to work. So with this, we're really training the glutes to come on every time we're doing something like a squat or anything else. Done. We're going over the top. It's a change for us, isn't it? Okay. Good, good. So Moira's starting behind the ball again in the crouch position. She's going to walk it through. Fantastic. Good. So from there, keeping the hips up, that's it. Making sure you don't get a dip, making sure you're not getting a hunch here. Go, go, go. Don't make you wait. That's it. 3. So she's really stabilising with one glute here, but the other glute has to stabilise. And the other thing is pause doing a lot of work because we've got to keep your pelvis absolutely symmetrical here so that you don't tip over. Sometimes this takes a little bit of practice, and this one can be a little bit frustrating when you're a beginner, but do keep practicing it, and remember that the closer the ball is to you, the more stability you're going to have. When you step off the ball to the side for me. Good. Hands can go into grip if you can't take the weight through your wrists. You send me the problems and I'll find you the solution. There's always a way around it so that you can actually make it happen and keep that exercise on. So we've just corrected Moira's hips there. She's just switched them under a little bit just to flatten out through the back and just brought her up. While you're doing these exercises, it's extremely important to correct yourself and to continually check your form. People use mirrors not because they're vain, but because as you go through a movement, you slip, you get tired and your body starts to use other muscles, and that's perfectly natural. If it didn't happen, I'd worry. All right, so we're going to do that squeeze. So we're going to do 10 squeezes in. Bring feet up a little bit higher for me. There we go, and then squeeze. Making sure lower back here is pushed right into the floor. So you're going to tip those hips under so that you're a little bit into neutral for me. Keeping that lower back pushed in. We're just practicing. We've got a point of reference there for getting the hips into neutral. Good. How many have you done? Oh, she's done 10 now. She's counting. You better start counting. Oh, it's much faster when she does it. Have you noticed that? All right, we're going to have a break now. We're about halfway through. Stand up carefully, have a drink, and we'll see you back here in just a little while. Won't be long. Exactly right. All right, we're back. We're back. We've had a break. I hope you're all feeling refreshed. We're going to go through that set and do it all again. But you know when I'm doing stuff, sometimes there's always a twist, isn't there? I'm going to tell you something special. Because we're such good friends, we're going to do 20. We're going to just bring it up. We've had a couple of practice shots. We've had a little bit of a break. Now we're going to finish it off. So making sure you stay strong, because we're going to be doing a few more reps. When your body gets tired, it tends to want to switch off the things that you're using because it wants to give it a break. You'll also sometimes feel some pain. Look, the research that I've read says that that pain is just to talk you out of doing it. When you physically can't do any more, you physically can't do any more. So push through the pain. So this is when it gets a little bit fun, and that's when the challenge stops being physical and starts to be a little bit mental as well. I mean that in a nice way. Is it? Already? 11. I bet she's done more now. So making sure you stay in control, keeping a really good form and squeeze. If you get to this point and you're too tired, pop your weights down. You just finish it off. You can finish it off without weights. But what you want to do is start your set with it and do as much as you physically can. If you can do 11 this time with the weights, next time go for 12 or 13. All right, it's an order, by the way, that wasn't a request. If you want to start doing a little bit more, each time you want to push the comfort zone a little bit. See? Hey? I'll get that. She's delegating. All right, so now we're going to go for 20. If you need to have a bit of a break in here, then you have a little bit of a break. Reset your posture and make sure that your form is perfect, and then start again. And we're just going to do 20. Keeping it nice and constant. I often see these done like, oh my God, it's a race to get to the end. And we've done some workouts where we're like, you know, the faster the better. This is not one of them. So the reason for that is it's time under tension for the muscle. If you want the muscle to respond, you've got to work it for some time. And the faster you're going, like you're working power, but you're not working the endurance and the overall strength of it. So what we want to do is just keep it working for the whole time, overload it. Give it something to do. What fun number is that? I don't know how she does it. I think she's skipping forward a few. Nice and easy. Even Moira gets tired. It's hard to believe. That's it, nice and easy. Good. And still remembering breathing, not arching the back, keeping the back in neutral. We've been practicing neutral a little bit when we're on the floor, making sure that lower back is pushed in. Remember? Well done. My thing for Christmas this year, I'd like to be able to count. We'll see. It's not one of my special abilities or talents. Feet on the front. She's doing her own pushing up. Don't you huff me. We're going to do 10. And we're going to keep the control there, nice and easy. So you should be feeling this in the hamstrings, even already, because you've just done that other set before. I do special one finger counting in the background, am I right? 5. There we go. So what you're aiming to do, see how Moira's ball is wobbling a little bit? When you have one side that is stronger than the other, and let's face it, most of us do, you tend to not use them together. So your strong side will do some work, your weaker side will catch up strong, so you end up with this sort of shuddering motion. Your job is to make that as small as possible, to make it as steady as possible, to get those sides working together. And we call that, this is a bilateral movement because both sides need to work together. But what you don't want is the stronger side taking over from the weak side. So keep that ball as steady as possible. That was a long explanation for that. 4 to go, keeping it squeezed. You know to have a break if you need to. Keep it going. Last one. Up and then lowering it down. Beautiful. That was nice. Feet on the top. Okay, toes to the top, feet shoulder width apart. Not letting your knees come together. Squeeze the glute, let's go. 1, up. Well done. Keeping the toes pointing straight up. So there's lots of ways that you can get a little bit sloppy here. Keep the movement tight. Keeping the ball as even as you can. And the thing is too with the ball, when you haven't done it for a while, you can find that it's quite hard to control. The more you do it, the more control comes into it and the easier it becomes for you. So it's good to do these sorts of exercises at least a couple of times a week. You'll notice the difference in what you can do, how many you can do them and how well you can do them. The more you can do it, the more you do it, the more you practice it. And the more you practice any exercise, it's like any skill, the better you become at it. So when you start training now, in 6 months' time, you'll be burning more calories simply because you're better at it, you're better able to engage and incorporate all of the muscles that you should be using. Your coordination is better. So just because something's hard the first time, don't give it up. Keep going. Do you need a reset? What number? Look at it. I don't. It's a challenge. All right. Feet are coming down a little bit low, but we're getting there. Overall, I still think you're a 10. You know that, right? Good. Easy. And last one. Good. Well done. Ow! Good. I know. Good. This is one of the best ways, I think, of actually getting in and using. There's a couple of other things we can do with walls and things like that, but we'll save that for another day. All right, so we're doing this butt squeeze, and remember to keep your hips in neutral. If you sleep on the side, you have a tendency to use this part of your back more. So making sure that if you do sleep on your side at night, you've got a mirror so you can check that you're not putting all the weight up through here. I need you to engage through these sides. You've got to keep your core on and by keeping these hips neutral. All right. Keeping the spine nice and long. The other thing you don't want to do is your exercises with your head pointed back. So keeping this up. One of the ways that we spot clients doing this when they tend to drop is we put a finger under here to keep people coming back up again. It's incredibly invasive and gets people straight back up into the position very, very quickly. What number? Got 4 to go, nice and easy. This ball is staying really, her glute control is fantastic as well as her pelvic control. This ball's barely moving at all, so that's fantastic. If you can't do that initially, don't be discouraged. Like I said, just keep practicing. Nearly there? And coming through. And it's a fallacy that all workouts need to be like high impact. You can do some of this control work and sometimes you'll find that you're working a lot harder than you would sometimes jumping around the room. Sweat is not necessarily a good indicator of how many muscles you're using or how many calories you're even burning. Sometimes this control work is just absolutely flogs you, which is fantastic. And it's good to have a break every now and then and do something different. Your body doesn't know that it's doing something different, so it's still going to release all the calories and stuff. Go, go, go. Fantastic. And you can tell Moira's a runner because she's got a tan line on her ankles. It's a giveaway, isn't it? All right, so Moira, as you can see, she's starting to get tired through the upper body. So what we want to do is just make sure you've got that correction. There you go, see? Invasive and it works. Nice and easy, keeping that control on. And everybody will be getting tired. This is a long time to hold this position. Well done. We're going to do the squeeze now. 20 with a hold of 20. When you're doing this exercise, we are of course activating through inner thigh, which is why they're honeymoon killers, but we're also anchoring down through the lower pelvic region as well. So giving it 20 good squeezes, keeping your back pushed into the floor. You need to be able to feel it with that lower back there, that it's pushed into the floor. And you need to be able to maintain it. Sometimes people will, on the squeeze in, they'll hold it onto the floor and then they'll let go. What I want you to do is maintain it. Squeeze in, squeeze out, squeeze in, and make sure it's on for the entire time. You go very quickly. Do you think she skipped any? I'm not sure. And then we're going to hold for 20. I'll count this one. 1, 2, there's no trust. 3, 4, 5, keep breathing. 6, relax your shoulders. 7, 8, keep back pushed in. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. You've done very well. Relax it down. I think you can have a bit of a stretch. I think it's that time of the day. We've done quite a bit of work through glutes today, so we're just going to do this little hurdler stretch, I think you call it. All these exercises have like 100 names. So this stretch is important to check that your hips are flat, because quite often I'll see it done and somebody's got one hip up or one hip down, but both hips need to be level and you're going to relax down as far as you can come. If you can't come as low as Moira and you find that you're a long way up from your leg, that's absolutely fine. You're still going to be getting this stretch in through the butt. That's terrific. So taking a deep breath in and relaxing it, and then I'm going to get Moira to come up. Now this stretch sometimes takes a bit of practice as well. Grab your foot and sitting forward, because what we're actually going to do is a really deep quad stretch and hip flexor stretch as well. They get used so much, it's very, very nice to release those out as well. It's a good one, isn't it? Sometimes you feel like you're not even barely stretching them. Taking a deep breath in, relax, swap it over. Good, good. Fantastic. Coming down nice and low, keeping your hips nice and level. So you just do this to your level. The more you do this exercise, the more flexible you'll get. The other way that you can do this is by putting your foot up onto a table. So you can actually do this at waist height as well and then leaning forward as well. That's quite acceptable. Taking a deep breath in, out and relaxing. And then we're going to grab the back foot again. Coming up slowly. Grab it up, pull it in, taking a deep breath in, relax. Awesome. So you should be able to sit right in with the hips so you can get that stretch right through hip flexor as well. Taking a deep breath out, in and out. Good. We're just going to do a seated hamstring stretch as well. This is another one that you can do up on a back of a chair, on the sofa, on the coffee table. When you're doing a standing hamstring stretch, say for example, I'll just use the ball. The thing that I often see is people twist away with their hips. So their hips are facing the opposite direction of their legs. Your feet need to be parallel. So if you're going to choose to do the standing one, keep your feet parallel, body's up and coming forward from the hips because it's just a small stretch. It's not about rounding out through the back, of course. Sorry, did I beat you with the ball? Other side. So sitting up and coming forward. So keeping the back flat, you'll actually get more of a pull through all the way through the back of the leg, the hamstring all the way down through the cuff. Am I right? It happens occasionally. Nice and easy. Good. Fantastic. Come on up nice and slowly. We'll do a standing row. We'll just pull it up through the upper back as well. Coming down, pull it up. Sometimes doing these exercises and then roll it up slowly, you can actually get quite tight through lower back. So what we want you to practice is making sure that you can find neutral. So when you're doing anything, you're not actually putting it through back. Things like easing off when you're doing your squats and things. So if you need to stretch out lower back and things like that as well, you can do that. Our time is just about up with you. Anything else you want to do? So make sure that you do the stretches. If you want to go through and do them again, that's a really good idea. Keep working on your flexibility. Hamstrings get really, really tight. And we'll see you next time for a workout. We're just for 30 minutes. Yeah, that's enough. See you soon. I'm Justine from Babes on the Run. This is Moira.